Hi everybody, we're back here on the Daily Blue with Dr. Steve, Dr. Richard, and Jamie Love. Steve, as you were talking in the last segment, I thought about myself. Because I was born 3 months premature, and because of the hypernoxia at birth, due to my prematurity, I developed cerebral palsy. So throughout my growing years, I didn't hit my developmental milestones like everybody else. So my mother and my parents were my link to the outside world until I could ambulate on my own. And then once I figured I was different than everybody else, because there were people that were different. I mean, I couldn't sit up, I couldn't run, I couldn't even crawl. Till after I had corrective surgeries at 4. And then it started. But I began to define myself as being different, even though part of me didn't feel that way. It was reinforced. So for a large part of my life, I was a victim of my own circumstance.
Sure.
Not necessarily of my own doing, but what I was being. The perceptions were, I was perceiving myself because of how people were perceiving me, and then I was reflecting that perception back.
Sure. Well, you were letting them write your story.
Exactly.
Well, and that's it. And you were letting them write your story, and you were letting yourself think that being different was a negative connotation in some way.
Correct.
Now, I'm happy to be different. When I was young, I wish I would fit in, and now that I'm older, I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I didn't fit in. You know why I'm glad I didn't fit in? You're a doctor. You're in the 1% in the world. You bet your ass you don't fit in. And you're writing books, and yeah, I'm glad I don't fit in. I don't want to fit in. I don't want to be defeated. I don't want to say same crap, different day, and mean it. I don't want to do that. People, there's a show, and people say, hey, have you seen this show? It's called The Walking Dead. It's amazing. I said, yes, I've seen it. I watch it all day, every day. Most people are zombies going through their day. I don't need a camera and a TV to watch this. I'm watching it all day, every day. And
Sorry,
they say, same crap, different day. It is what it is. They say these type of things, these kind of impotent statements. Nothing is born of these statements, and nothing is born out of the mind that does that.
Right.
We need optimists, we need pessimists. There is no bad thinking that is put to work. The optimist creates the airplane, the pessimist creates the parachute. We need all that stuff.
Right.
What we don't need is impotent thinking. Same crap, different day.
Oh, well.
How dare you say same crap, different day? Today you have the opportunity to say I love you, I appreciate you, thank you. You get the opportunity to cherish. You can give extra hugs, extra kisses. You can go running. You can go bike riding. You can say no to the cheeseburger. You can say no to the cigarette. How dare you say same crap, different day? The greatest minds in the world. I love reading Socrates, Aristotle, Marcus Aurelius. I love reading theological texts and characters. I love reading that stuff. And the greatest minds I may read didn't see today. I'm seeing it. I'm shaping it. How dare you say something like that? There's no chance. There's no way I would live in that kind of impotent type of living. So you're right. You were different and good. And when the people recognize that they are different in that way, what does that mean? What does it mean that you're different? What are you going to do with that? Why are you different? That means you have a unique purpose. Why are you trying to be something you're not? And why aren't you paying attention to what you already are? We're so ridiculous, just as a human culture in general. It's as though we are searching for light with a lit torch.
Right.
Like we're holding a lit torch and we're searching for light. And it's ridiculous because we are powerful beyond measure, and yet we limit ourselves on purpose because we believe the nonsense we may hear on media. You know, anytime you turn on a TV or radio, you're being sold something. But the key is they can't sell you a life vest unless they convince you you're drowning. So all day long they're trying to convince you you're drowning instead of just recognizing that you are perfectly imperfect. Take what you are, not what you're not. Take what you are and move forward without apology.
Are you ready to embrace yourselves out there? Come back on the Daily Blue and see more from Dr. Steve.
I'm Laura Sikorsky, host of Sikorsky's Think Abouts, and I am so excited to introduce our new guest host, Kate Fox, of Sometimes Adversity Isn't.
Hi Laura, it's so nice to be speaking to you today. I am so happy to be joining the Daily Blue, bringing inspirational messages to people, starting with my journey. I'm a breast cancer survivor, and I chronicled my journey through poetry. I've now published 2 books, and I am just living my dream. And there are a lot of stories out there where people have encountered breast cancer or some other kind of difficulty, and they're living their dreams because of it. And they are proof that sometimes adversity isn't.
Excellent. Can't wait to see your first show.
Thank you.
And we're back with Dr. Steve, Dr. Richard,
Did we ever leave is the question.
no,
Never really.
and Jamie Love.
So this is a lot of fun.
Yes.
This
So
is
this is
great.
your gig.
We're having a blast.
You just
man.
come out here, you hang out, you talk to people.
Yeah, we talk to really
Yes.
cool people like yourself.
This is
Yes.
a gig. Look
Yes.
at that.
It's fantastic. We're having fun. I mean, this is just really what it's all about, too. If you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong.
Then you're
That's right,
ridiculous.
exactly.
Absolutely.
We interviewed somebody on our radio show, which is also Journey into Awareness on Blog Talk Radio, and his name was Scudder Newton. He's a Mason and a Shriner, and he worked in a motivational speaking firm back in the 60s,
Mhm.
around the time Zig Ziglar was starting out. And he said to me on the show, he goes, attitude is always 100. And I thought for a moment, and I said, Scudder, what do you mean? He goes, well, Richard, if you take each letter in the word attitude and you subscribe the number based on the position that it is in the alphabet,
The value
the
comes
value
out to
comes
100.
out to 100. So your attitude always has to be 100%.
Always. And it is. Your attitude and your energy is always 100%. That's never the issue. The issue is, what are you
Okay.
pointing at? It's like people who, it's
that's
like
the rub,
people
ladies and
who,
gentlemen.
who don't want change. And they say, Steve, I hate change. I don't want to deal with it. I'm
But
not
that's your
good with
attitude.
change. And here's the beautiful thing about it, is take a look of a picture of yourself 10 years ago, and now look in the mirror. We are change. You have no choice. Don't say I don't like the change. It doesn't matter.
That's right.
We are atoms and molecules in motion. You are change. Not I don't like to change, I can change. I am change. So how does your life alter? How does it change? How is it enhanced when you, instead of fighting something you are, you embrace I am change. Now my focus, instead of stopping change, my focus becomes, where is this change taking me? In what way am I changing for better? How can I learn? Where do I find the message in the mess?
Right.
How do I take the cards I've been dealt and win? And that's where life is, and that's where you find yourself living at the highest point of your ability. It's not about being anyone else. In relationships, it's not about changing them. It's not about anything. It's about revealing the greatest version of yourself. And the greatest part of that is that every single day you have the opportunity to do that.
It's just like when you have a beautiful gem that you've pulled from the earth and it looks like a rock. And then you put it in the tumbler. My mom used to do beautiful jewelry pieces. And you
Yes.
put it in the tumbler. And what that rock must be going through while it's in the tumbler, it reminds me so much of our lives
Sure.
and the struggle that we go through. But that's our own personal tumbler. And then when you pull that rock out and it becomes this beautiful polished stone, and you can see all the facets and all the beautiful sparkles that come out of that stone, and that's what our life is.
Absolutely.
It's like that tumbler.
And at any time, you're in that process. At every moment, you're in that process. So the argument can be made that you're always that beautiful sparkle.
Yes.
You're just in the process of it.
That's right.
So when you go from that point of view and you recognize that all you have to focus on is your waking day. That's it. You can't should have done something. You can't undo a single thing. You can't focus into a day you haven't met. What you have is now. The question isn't can you change? The question is what are you doing to reveal your greatest self? What steps are you taking today to bring you into your greatest point tomorrow?
Yes.
If you have goals, are you writing them down, and what are you doing today that are moving you in the direction of those goals? If you're not doing any of that, then you're existing, not living.
Yeah.
You're one of those zombies. Your light went out. Your light went out. They may not bury you for another 80 years, but you died the day you said same crap, different day.
Mm-hmm.
Bring yourself, resurrect your life, bring yourself back by taking actions today that are in alignment with what you want. Do it unapologetic. Get rid of the people who dull your shine, who poison your spirit. Cancel your subscription to their issues and move on in your life without apology.
I love it.
Before we go, Dr. Steve, tell us about your book that's coming out.
Yeah, what's your next project?
Our next
Yes.
book is Pretend God is Deaf, and we talk about action and movement. What does your faith look like as a verb? What does it look like? When you say your life in general? What does it
Yes.
look like as a verb? What happens when you shut your mouth and you speak with your actions? What does "I love you" look like? We know what it sounds like.
Right.
What does it look like? What does "I'm sorry" look like? What does "I want better for my life" look like? What does setting a standard look like? As Pretend God is Deaf, we talk about it. And we've got a bunch of books. But again, most importantly, I want people to hear this and not focus on me so much, but take the information that I'm sharing, mold it to your life. The ones that you like, the things you like, take them. The things you don't like, let them go.
Right.
And enhance your own life. Fall in love with yourself. The greatest book they'll ever read isn't mine. It's their own.
Wonderful words to live by. Dr. Steve Maraboli, you are an inspirational speaker, not a motivational speaker. Sometimes a motivational speaker, or when you go to see motivational speakers, that'll last for a couple of days and then you're right back to where
And then
you
you've
were.
lost your
I'm not
motivation.
here to entertain. I'm not here to make anyone feel good. I'm not here to do any of that. I want to remind you that you are here today because nothing that ever went against you destroyed you like it thought it did. You have a history of victory and you are badass.
That's
I
right.
am here to remind you of that. I'm not here to give you goosebumps. I'm not here for any of that. I'm here to remind you that everyone who ever bet against you was wrong. Now you move forward knowing that without apology.
Thank you, Dr. Steve Maraboli.
Thank you so much for having me on. This was fun. I can't believe this is your gig. Good one.
Yes. Thank you. Come back, my brother.
Thank
I
you so
will.
much.
Thank
Love
you so
having
much.
you. Here on the Daily Blue with Dr. Steve Maraboli, Dr. Richard Cherney, and Jamie Love. See you next time, guys. Have
Take
a
care.
wonderful day. And
And don't
remember
forget
what
to
this
listen to
man...
us on blogtalkradio.com.
Right.
Sorry, had to plug it.
Remember what this man says. He's the truth teller. For yourself. Find your truth. See you next time. Love you. Bye.
Bye.